Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the 2025 Iowa Renewable Fuels Summit. If you are in this room, you are already a part of our American road trip to prosperity, and our destination is Fuels of Opportunity. Good morning. I am Chris Boshart, and it's my privilege to serve as the 2025 Iowa Renewable Fuels Association President. When I'm not working with my fellow board members to provide input and direction to our IRFA staff, I serve as the CEO and General Manager of Gold Eagle Cooperative and Cornell P Ethanol Plant in Goldfield, Iowa. My personal road trip began in southeast Iowa on a farm outside of Wayland, Iowa. We raised turkeys and grew row crops. When considering the many challenges ahead of us, it would be easy to be pessimistic. Farm income is down, some ethanol and biodiesel plants are not operating today. Year-round E15 was once again left behind by Congress. Biofuel tax credit guidance is up in the air, which keeps sustainable aviation fuel grounded. The EPA is late with the next renewable fuel standard proposal, and billions of gallons of RFS exemptions sit at their desk, awaiting a decision. While we must be realists, in my lifetime of agriculture, I have not met many pessimists. As I mentioned, I work in Goldfield, Iowa. The town of Goldfield does not necessarily look like a gold mine in California, but when you look out our window, you will see rich and productive soil that produces a different type of gold, a Midwestern gold that is the corn and soybeans that power the rural American economy. So yes, as we face many challenges, but we refuse to lose sight of the opportunities. As long as you and I remain committed to the stewardship of the soil, we will always have our own gold fields. As we traverse our collective road trip to prosperity, it is increasingly clear that a successful destination will rely on fuels of opportunity. Biofuels brought the American economy out of the stagnation of the 1990s, and they powered us through the Great Recession of the 20-teens. And they can reverse the recent downtrend in the ag economy if we choose to let them. Higher blends of ethanol, like E15, are within our grasp. Export opportunities abound. Bio-based diesel use exceeded 5 billion gallons last year, and the sky is the limit, literally, for sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF. It's working to take off, and if fully realized, could be the largest market in North American agriculture history. But these fuels of opportunity require constant innovation and technology changes. Many are driven by the world's desire to reduce its environmental footprint and to become more sustainable. If we want to access these massive new markets, we must produce our fuels that the customers want. For example, if we look no further than Brazil if we choose not to. This might mean that some farmers may have to make some adjustments to farming practices. It may mean that biofuel plants will need to become more efficient and to embrace new technologies that reduce their carbon scores. In rural America, you're either growing or you are dying. The tools to unlock the fuels of opportunity are here today. If we want to be successful, we need our friends and neighbors to understand the importance of these new technologies and the economic future of the Midwest. But too often, some of the very people that will benefit want to look to the past. We must help them see the potential that lies ahead in the future. I ask everyone today that is here, when you leave, have the conversations that you will learn about today, whether it's at coffee shops, outside grocery stores, or at your church. If we don't explain to our friends and neighbors the importance of keeping up with these evolving markets, no one else will. So we are grateful that you are here today, and we welcome over 800 people from about 25 states and even some foreign countries. Today's summit is one of, if not the largest biofuels policy conference in the United States. We can make a positive impact if we leave here united to share the story of fuels of opportunity. Before I move on, we should recognize some of the people who make this event possible. Our gold sponsor slide on the screen here, for nearly 20 years, this world-class summit has been open to the public and free of charge, and that's only possible because of the generous sponsors that we have. Please join me in giving our gold sponsors a round of applause. Next, we have our silver sponsor page. The same with our silver sponsors. We are so grateful that they have chosen to invest and help support this conference. Let's give them a round of applause. You also passed many of our exhibitor booths on your way into the ballroom here. This sold-out trade show is our largest yet. It will be open all day, so please visit our exhibitors to learn about the excitement that our partners have on this road trip to prosperity. And while you're at the trade show, please stop at the IRFA booth to send a message to Congress. 10 plus years is long enough. We are done being patient. We want nationwide E15 year-round, and we want it done this year. For those of you into social media, feel free to post about today's summit using the hashtag FuelSummit25. You could scan the QR code that's on the screen, and you will find access to all of the IRFA's social media channels. I do have one agenda update. I know we are all looking forward to hearing from Governor Reynolds again this year. She's been a strong supporter of this conference. Unfortunately, she is unable to attend due to the funeral for State Representative Martin Graber. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Graber family during this difficult time. Now, please allow me to talk just a bit about the IRFA Association, which is the host of this summit. The IRFA is a standalone trade association. Its board is made up of biofuel producers with facilities in Iowa. We also have over 80 associate members spanning the country from east to west. While a biofuel producer must have operations in the state of Iowa to sit on the board, many of our members have multi-state footprints. In fact, as I look around the IRFA board table when discussing our collective challenges and opportunities, those looking back at me represent everything from large multinational corporations to locally owned cooperatives. Together, we have the capacity to produce over 6.5 billion gallons of cornstarch ethanol, cellulosic ethanol, biodiesel, renewable diesel, sustainable aviation fuel, renewable natural gas, all across the United States. IRFA members process feedstocks ranging from cornstarch, corn stover, corn kernel fiber, distiller's corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil, and various other animal fats and used cooking oil. If you are not yet an IRFA member, why not? Talk to us today before you leave. No other biofuel group in America has such the diversity of membership, and so many of our current challenges have different impacts across the scope of biofuel producers. The IRFA is uniquely suited to hear from all perspectives and to find as much common ground as possible. As this year's IRFA president, I will continue to urge our members to engage and for our staff to act boldly. Speaking of our staff, we're a staff of 4 here at IRFA. I'd like to start by recognizing our newest member, IRFA Communications Manager, Emma Kaler. Emma has been aggressively expanding our reach with traditional media while also carving out new spaces in the social media universe. Thank you, Emma. While many of you may know her as the person who creates this summit each year, IRFA Marketing Director Lisa Kaufelt also spearheads amazing efforts to expand our markets from higher ethanol blends at fuel stations to more biodiesel in the tanks of farmers and school bus fleets. Thank you, Lisa. And you probably saw IRFA's Policy Director Nathan Hohenstein on your way in. He's tracking everything from what's happening out in DC to the Iowa Capitol and the California Legislature. If you haven't signed the E15 letter at the IRFA booth, you should. Nathan's a pretty big dude, and we wouldn't want him to get mad at you. Thank you, Nathan. And finally, IRFA's Executive Director is our next speaker, Monty Shaw. He grew up on a corn and soybean farm just outside the southwest Iowa town of Shenandoah. In fact, he enjoys getting back there in the fall to help the family farm bring in the harvest. Some of you who have known Monty for a while may find it surprising, but he does have, and I have seen them, pictures of him successfully operating farm equipment. Monty's quarter century of experience promoting renewable fuels is easy to see, whether it's watching him turn a memorable phrase for the media, navigate the details of a complex policy matter, or just seeing what's left of his gray hair that's turning more gray by the day. Please join me in welcoming IRFA's Executive Director to the stage, Monty Shaw.